WD-40 something-ish, coming to you of all places from my living room with a rather corroded high beam headlamp assembly from my 2008 Winnebago Sightseer 35 J. Here's the hole it left behind, and I'm going to show you how to fill it with a new headlamp assembly and take you through all the steps involved. First things first, we've got to open the hood. This will give us access to the screws that hold the bezel in place. Next, we're going to remove the two screws that hold the bezel in place. I've removed the one on the left, and I'm removing the one on the right here. With the two screws removed, you can pull the bezel forward and it will slide off. It's held in place at the bottom by two nuts with rubber gaskets. Unplug the wiring harness from the high beam headlight and use a Torx T25 wrench to unscrew the four screws that hold the headlamp into place. With any luck, you'll have something that looks like this in your hand. I ordered two of these. Here's what one looks like. They came in a package like this. I found them on Amazon. You can see some hardware in there. I'll give you a closer look at that. It comes with these, which are the adjustment screws that allow you to position and adjust where the lens and the beam shine. Now, it's important to note, I'm looking at this right now, and you might not be able to see it. You probably can now, but it says top here, right? So there are only 3 screws here for adjustments, and the kit only came with 3. That is not a mistake. So take note of which of the 3 are in a filled position when you remove your own headlamp, and you're going to want to replace only the ones that currently have a bolt in them. Common sense stuff here, folks. You can do it. Let's get started. So I'm going to pop this out using some pliers, hopefully. I'll show you how that all works. Use a pair of pliers to separate the high beam adjustment screws from the mounting plate. Carefully work your way around, prying the plastic cap off the mounting plate, separating each of the adjustment screws one by one until the headlamp is free. As you can see, it requires a little bit of elbow grease. Be careful not to bend the mounting plate in the process. I'd love to be able to pull these out and just insert them into the new high beam. Okay, so I installed the first of these just to see how that went and how challenging it was. I don't think I'm going to get the original ones that were here on the original high beam off. So what I recommend is line these things up. There's a top and a bottom to each of these lights. You can tell there's this dimpled section on the inside of the lens on both. So line them up so that they're facing the same and see which screw holes are used. Okay, so I took this, I put it through like this, and then there's a slot in which this needs to be turned, so it locks into place by turning it like that. Now I got a little progress on that, but this bigger one worked a little better to just twist it into place, and then it locks into place like so. And the only other one that I need to do, if I line these up, is top right. Let's speed this along for your viewing pleasure. Insert the adjustment screw, turn the tab towards the slot, use a little bit of elbow grease and a bigger set of pliers to get it to fit into the slot, like so, and voila! Lining these up, the old and the new, the heights are pretty close in terms of the adjustment screws, so I think I'm going to start there and adjust as needed. The next thing I'm going to do is place the cups on these screws. And they clip on like that. That's two, and I got one more over here. Now I'm going to put the light into the mounting plate like so. You can see it says top right there. I know that's the bottom of the light. And apparently these should just click into place. I imagine it's going to take some force. Alright, so I'm going to try and use the pliers to really... Okay, that's part. When... Gently work your way around using a pair of pliers to press the cups into place. You might need to make a couple passes as you go around, making sure that you hear the cup click into place and that the headlamp is squarely seated in the mounting plate. This is what the finished product will look like before it goes into the housing. Stepping outside here for the moment, I'm going to remember this will just slide right off. I don't want to take the other light off at this point or unplug it. So I've got the headlight, top is going to be top. It goes here. It's held in place by 4 screws. All right, so as I said, there are 4 of these. Careful not to screw it too tight. I've started each of them. There's one down here.
And this is number 4.
And all I need to do now is hopefully plug this. There we are. Okay, that's connected. Now there are 2 bolts here, which just slides underneath. All right, so there are 2 Phillips head screws go in here. This one in first. And this one here. That should be it. Before I go too much further, it'd probably be a good idea to test the lights. So I'm going to go into the motorhome and flip on the brights. All right, so we're going to go over here. We're going to turn on the lights and we're going to turn on hopefully the high beams. We'll see if that works. Ooh, there it is. We are lit up and ready for action.